Y'all may know me. My name is George Bell. I am your 1 Million Cups host and organizer. We have our special guest here. I'm very excited to hear their presentation. But before we get started, I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about what 1 Million Cups is. So 1 Million Cups was created by the Kauffman Foundation with a mission to build community one cup at a time. So we're here pretty much to support entrepreneurs by providing them education, engagement, and connections. So what started out as a small program in Kansas City back in 2012 has now grown to over 100 communities, including here in Chico, California. And at its core, 1 Million Cups is a free program designed to empower and connect local entrepreneurs to help them share ideas, seek feedback, and learn from one another. So, very excited to have our special guest, as I mentioned. So if you would like to find out more about 1 Million Cups, how you can get involved, um, stay stay up to date with what presenters that we have, as well as apply to present yourself. You can find us at 1millioncups.com/Chico. So for today, we will have our 6-minute presentation as usual. Then we'll have about 20 minutes of Q&A. Remember, no particular investments. Of course, we want you guys all to
I thought I'm great.
no investments. However, I'm not stopping anyone from connecting sport. Can you take a seat here, please? We'll have our presenter there, so no problem. No worries. Yeah, so no investment at this time. However, we do encourage everyone to support one another and connect. So we'll have 20 minutes to do Q&A, things like that. And then we'll do a quick wrap up and we'll be good to go. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our presenter for today, Blue Atlas Brand. We have Ciaran Thompson. So I will take a second to cue up your slides.
Can everyone online hear me okay? I don't know how loud it is.
So this is our speaker, the laptop.
Are we looking
George.
at the screen or you?
I'm sorry.
Are we looking at the screen or are we looking at you?
Well, you're in the room, so you can look at me, but the screen it'll have my presentation. I've got some visuals up there, might be helpful. George, you said my name correctly.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
Here and then gets pushed a little bit. But
okay, let's see if we got it here. Everyone can see those slides. Okay, give me a thumbs up. Okay.
So actually we'll need someone in the room to also help participate. We have like a live call demo. So maybe I'll ask you to assist there. Can I use the
Absolutely.
magic clicker there?
And this is so this would be here. This kind of covers up your slides just a bit in this top
No,
right
that's
corner.
fine.
But up should be forward. Give it a try.
Okay.
So
I think maybe just put focus on it.
yeah.
All right.
So up should be forward.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Nice to meet you. My name is, excuse me, my name is Ciaran Thompson. There's a lot about me on that slide, but the short of it is I started my career in business data consulting. So T-Mobile, Microsoft, moving lots of data with no AI. And then where I'm at now is I'm back into moving data, but this time we have AI. In between there, I ran my own technology startup with co-founder and investor in Hawaii, built a team in the Philippines, did everything from treasury to product management. And yeah, my focus now is bringing what I saw, which is data movement, and then this AI that everyone's talking about, and saying I can help small businesses with that, and in particular realtors, because they always come by my house. There's a lot of money. So,
They're good ones then.
yeah, no, exactly. Just real quick, I know the format for 1 Million Cups is usually like I'm working on this business, I have an idea. So what I'm doing is a little bit different. It's more like I want to provide some education and value right away. If there's opportunity to connect, because I do consulting, happy to do that. But otherwise, hopefully you leave here with like something good. So just a little bit different. If you're not already using AI, I had to throw this up. I'm sure you are, but if you're not, there's so many tools that are just free, if not free, or low cost. So all the big players Like they all have to answer with what's their version. You've got from Google, Microsoft, Twitter or X, everybody's getting in the game. It's really good for us as consumers because they're just driving the cost down. There's even very, very low cost use ones, but you should probably look at things like privacy policy, these kind of stuff. So if your company has rules about you can't submit data, these kind of things, there's pro versions you can get that basically restrict and say, don't use my data for any kind of training. Because the whole idea behind these is they kind of soaked up the internet, computed like what an AI should tell you based on what's out on the internet. So you don't maybe want your data in there. But if you're not using it already, I had to address that. So many free options there. Traditionally, this is what I've seen traditionally I use. So the realtor might be, I'm a realtor in Chico. Please give me 3 ideas for today's Instagram post about first time home buyer. Very simple, straightforward. You're going to get a response back. Here you go. And you're going to type in, hey, maybe I want to refine that a little bit. Give me 4 more examples, or take that output now copy it into Instagram, right? So this completely works. I just want to say that works for a lot of people, but the difference in what I do, it's called AI automation. So the idea is that traditional AI, you have to manually input it. Again, it's super helpful, but every morning maybe you have to like do that same task. Give me 3 more ideas, and it requires some repetitions. You have to remember to do this. The benefit of what I'm talking about is 24/7. These essentially little AI employees or agents just run on your behalf and do these tasks. So that's the real difference.
Okay.
The solution is to look at how to automate these AI functions. I think if already you're using AI in your job and not just scared of it, then you're probably ahead of most people if you're playing with these tools. But this is like next level. So the idea is maybe you do that social media post every morning or ask it for an idea, and then this time you can have it just run on its own. So let me show you a little example of what this would look like. Up on the screen, on the left are some triggers. This is how all of this starts. A trigger would be like a new lead submitted on your website or something like that. Or perhaps you're monitoring a listing if something went from sale to pending and then maybe back to for sale. That could trigger it. Oh, there's new, like it didn't go through. My client wants to be on it, and then let's run. Like you don't have to remember that or like get the alert and then go do something. Your AI agent can take care of that. Let me step back just for a minute there. I want to point out, if you look at the bottom there, what it can do. It can start on these triggers and you can output to your existing workflow, but you can also pause and have a human in the loop. This is very important. Like maybe that trigger hits, you don't want your AI to run. You want it to just notify you. You can do that. So it can be one of these steps. Point that out. So in this example, that listing status changed. Maybe you want it to immediately check availability with that property and generate an email that says, hey, I'd like to come see your listing. You can have it do it automatically. The little robot guy on that step, that's where AI is. So traditionally we wouldn't have that. Now we do. And we're able to just anything you can get from ChatGPT, like, hey, I'd like to come see this listing on this property name. You can tell it, speak like you're an agent. I'm trying to book a first appointment on this new listing that just changed. So this is kind of the like benefit of using AI in these flows. So you can have it speak like a human and then immediately send the email, or have that human in the loop and say, all right, generate a draft and then let me review it and then send it. So I hope this is clear that this little workflow, it just shows you kind of connect these steps.
Okay.
Forward, maybe to focus. Yeah. Okay, great. What I wanted to focus on for this is you can automate anything. A lot of people focus on like, I don't know, cleanup tasks in their business. I would encourage you to focus on what's keeping you from selling more. So I'm business background. I know what matters. Like if you can sell more, you're more than happy to work with these programs and like implement more of them. And that's what I want for you too. So what is keeping you from selling more? I had some conversations with realtors. Everything from like, listing descriptions, I just have to do a lot of them, or if they're repetitive, to social media content. If I was out putting out more content, my clients would think of me, I'm just more in their face and able to, be there at the point of decision. So think about what you need to sell more, and then let's automate it away, essentially. So again, I'm here to provide value. These are the main tools people are using to do this automation. Zapier, Make, and N8N.com. Depending on your technical level, from left to right, easy to hard, but it's inverse cost. It's usually how it works. You're going to do more of it yourself. You can really lower the cost. Again, if you're technical, some of these N8N is actually completely free if you self-host it. So that's there. All right. So I wanted to give a little demonstration here. So again, that social media content, that's something realtors talk about, wanting to be able to post up a lot. In this case, we have an example of kind of internal data, maybe a spreadsheet, maybe a CRM. And let's say you want to generate a market report that's going to go out via email newsletter or maybe get posted. You can just essentially maintain that one list, and then this thing can run, and every morning or on demand weekly, whatever you want, it can generate a market report. So we're going to look at median price and percent up. Notice for Chico and Reading, they're different.
Do you want to start the video?
Click the first video, yeah.
This is your Chico, California real estate flash update. The median home price is $580,000, up nearly 2% from last year.
All right, it'll even click out, escape that one, and then click the next one. So
This is your Reading, California real estate flash update. The median home price is $300,000, up nearly 8% from last year.
and if you escape out. So what I wanted to point here is that we actually have the values in the spreadsheet. That little avatar, it's a real person, but it's AI, like you basically just feed it text and that video it'll render. It's called an avatar. But the idea is that you can generate like hundreds of these per market, whatever you need, and it'll go. And then I don't know if you noticed in the videos, it was a different listing picture. So everything can be customized. It's very it's pretty slick. Might be overkill for some people. I just want to let you know like what's out there with this stuff. Yeah, and let's see, next slide here.
This is your Reading,
This is your
California real estate flash update.
Go ahead, next slide. All right, click the first one on the left.
Hey, what's up, Gaurav? Hope you're having fun on your trip. It's super cool here in Vegas.
Okay, so before you click the next one, this is, I just want to show you what you're able to do if you want to repurpose your content. Let's say you have English speaking content already and you have maybe multilingual audience. These tools can also be used for that. So go ahead and click off the next one.
Cool.
Hey, was geht, Gaurav? Ich hoffe, du hast Spaß auf deiner Reise. Es ist super cool, dass du in Vegas bist.
And then the next one.
That's what we need.
Привет, как дела, Gaurav? Надеюсь, ты хорошо проводишь время в поездке. Очень круто, что ты в Вегасе.
So I don't speak German or Russian, but it'll voice over your lips and it'll make you look bilingual. You know, I get it when maybe you get an inbound, you might have to pass off the lead with it. The point is that you can repurpose some content. So maybe you have an English channel and then you want to, the moment you post, it just runs and it translates everything and it puts it on another channel for you. So just some ideas. So then the next, yeah, so then that original video we have, you click that, we've got her speaking in.
Esta es tu actualización rápida del mercado inmobiliario de Chico, California. El precio medio de las viviendas es de $580,000, un aumento de.
So it's
Esta es
very,
tu actualización
very slick.
rápida del mercado inmobiliario de Chico.
I mean, the text will also update it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, thank you. So again, no gatekeeping. This is HeyGen. You can go to heygen.com. You can actually clone yourself. So I checked the privacy policy. You own it, so don't worry about that. The idea is that if you record yourself into an avatar, maybe you don't have to do all these videos yourself. So you could then have your own avatar speaking. Again, a little technical, but I think this is good stuff people should know about.
Wow.
You can also, all those avatars on the left, those are fake. Well, they're like computer, they're AI generated. So you can get user generated content style, someone holding their phone and walking through their house, or you can get very professional buttoned up. All right, demo number 2. I need my, my assistant. All right, so the next one, based on my research, was maybe managing inbound leads after hours or if you have too many leads. So with AI, you can actually converse using like voice. So you can have it handle inbound leads. In this scenario, you're a condo developer and maybe you just released your inventory and you're getting a lot of calls and you want to capture a certain information from when people call. So their desired budget, number of bedrooms, if they're already working with an agent. I just spooled this up for this demo, but the little fun thing I put in here is if it's a high enough budget, maybe over $750,000, then go ahead and actually call me. Don't handle that one yourself. So why don't you give that phone number a call and then put it on speaker. Actually, if you're watching, let's just do her first. I don't know if it can take multiple calls at the moment. It can, you set it up right, but.
Hello. Thank you for calling Blue Atlas Brands. How can I assist you today? Are you looking for a condominium in Chico?
Yes.
Great. Could you please tell me your budget for the home purchase?
750,000.
Thanks. How many bedrooms are you looking for in the home?
3.
Um, And finally, how quickly are you looking to get into a home?
Just looking right now.
A realtor will reach out to you as soon as possible to assist. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this call. Have a great day.
So I said over 750. So I think it took it too literal. So
Right.
call it again and just say I want $900,000.
900,000.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
If we got time, George. It's
Good.
kind of fun. So that actually you saw like is part of the AI logic. So it can handle really weird answers.
Could you please confirm if you are working as a real estate executive?
No.
Got it. How many bedrooms are you looking for in a home?
3.
Thanks. What's your budget for the home purchase?
900,000.
Lastly, how quickly are you looking to get into a new home?
Next 6 months.
That sounds great. Let me get you connected with an agent right away. Just a moment, please.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm getting the phone call right now.
Dang.
Hello?
Hello.
There you go. So I just wanted to point out that you can put in kind of a conversational, this is an AI agent taking the call, qualifying the lead, and then you can tell it like, look, if it's a good lead, just pass it on, or maybe, oh, they're not ready for me yet, go ahead and follow up with them later. That's purely just the AI logic behind the scenes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Anyway, sky's the limit with this stuff, so you can do a number of things. I think part of why I'm here maybe is to engage in a little bit of discussion. So if you are a realtor or have existing ideas like, okay, this is something I always do, it's keeping me from being able to get out there and close more deals. Yeah, we can discuss because if some things are appropriate for it, or if it's maybe not ready yet, or something like that, or it depends on how you would have to design the solution. So, but there's a lot you can do immediately today. I put a few ideas up on the screen, and yeah, anything from listing. You can even organize your kind of like if you get too many inbound emails that are just not relevant or something like that. AI can be used to classify things like, does this look like spam? Does this look like a lead? And then like draft a response, save it to my outbox, and I'll review it in the morning. It's kind of like having an assistant, and that's what you got to do is build a bunch of these AI assistants, and they run for very, very like minimal cost. It's pretty cool. Again, I want to emphasize the human in the loop component because I'll hear during Q&A maybe, but a lot of people's worries with AI is, oh, what about it hallucinates, or what if it, I don't want to say certain things. So you can really control the temperature of like how creative it gets with the response. You can even give it company documents that say like this is like Q&A, or this is about our brokerage or stuff like that, and it can adhere to those. This is more my consulting side of what I do, both project-based and hourly rates, but happy to do kind of free discovery call. And then if there's a meaningful opportunity, look into coming in. Usually what we do is like a paid feasibility milestone. So my developer and I will come in and look and make sure all the tools and we can integrate with your systems, and then put a proposal together. I'm also local in Chico, so if you just want to talk about this tech or have questions, to meet for a coffee or something like that. So again,
Wow.
AI can work in any industry. Today was about realtors, but it can really work in any industry. So we can adapt these tools. My developer was working on something for a carpet cleaning company. So people call in to schedule pickups for the carpets they want, and it looks up their customer data. It looks at the location. It looks at the availability of the calendar. It schedules a pickup, creates an invoice. You can even take payment if you need. So it's pretty wild.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe a little overkill. I don't know. That's me.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you, Ciaran. All right, cool. Let's open it up for Q&A.
If you're online there, you can go ahead and call that number if you want. And
What
now,
does it do when, so I don't ever get calls like
Everybody want to
that,
give it a
'cause I'm
try?
that basic
yeah,
realtor. The calls I get is, hey, I'm sitting in front of 5182 Foster Road right now. Is that lot next door come with the property? So what does it do when it does that?
is that lot next door, meaning not the one that would be in your would that be in your kind of listings already? Like, do you have a CRM to manage? Like, oh, which property are you speaking of? Let me look it up.
It would just be a generalized question. So like that literally is a question I just took
Even just-
yesterday.
Yeah.
And
Put
the
it
lot
in
next door is for sale, but it's not part of our property and it wouldn't have included that in the MLS.
It wouldn't have been in the MLS, wouldn't have been on your marketing material,
Nope.
anything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So in a situation like that, what we can do is you can give it instructions that say, if it's not a question about any of the properties in the MLS, and you're very specific because you can tell it which tool to look at. Like you have basically a connection to the MLS, or at least a list of the properties, and you say, look at this list. If it's not in that list, you need to gracefully tell them that's a great question. I'll follow up with you. And then what we do is we test it with a bunch of these kind of random questions, the input and output, and we get it to a point where you'd be comfortable with the response. But it's probably pretty good at deflecting. We can try calling that again. I've had one, so like a local gym owner was looking to do like quick follow-up when someone says I want a 7-day trial. And so he talked about this where I was saying, look, it can schedule, the next class, it'll look up. And he's like, well, people ask their ankle's broken. Can I come in? And, we tried asking it, and it just basically said like, a nice disclaimer, like, oh yeah, check with your doctor, but I can book you. I'm here to book you for the next appointment. So we can tell it, stay on task. This is what you should do, and gracefully handle any other question in this manner. So that would be basically, they need to speak with you at that point, or do you have a way of saying, we don't represent that lot, sorry? Like, what would you say to that question from them?
I would turn it into a sale. I would say, are you looking for something that's a half acre or more? Are you looking for acreage? I can absolutely look in to see if that lot's still available. Maybe we can work out a deal and get you some special financing to include that.
Nice, okay.
And I immediately tried to set up an appointment in person.
Okay. I think this would be a really good way to kind of talk about those like scenarios, like what would you want it to do and handle, and you could test it and see if it's kind of satisfactory, where that's good. You could tell it like, okay, gather information. Well, which lot are you talking about? Do you have an address? But they might be rather like, oh, the one next to it, right?
Yeah.
They'll just say that.
Yep.
So yeah, you can have it stand down, or if it can handle, you can basically play with these scenarios and then dial it in. And again, if it's not able to handle some of those nuanced questions, then that's when you just say, let me have another agent follow up. So actually in California, these systems, if someone's speaking with an AI agent, or call, it needs to say and announce like, I'm an AI like helper. It's actually a law in California. So the user would be like, you can ask the thing on there.
Oh, you'd be like, give me a person, give me a person, give me a
Yeah,
person
and maybe they
immediately.
do
Yeah,
that.
that's what
That's
I would
okay.
do.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
You want to cut through and get it, but I think for most people it can handle that.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be maybe, it wouldn't be that out of place to say, let me get you someone that can follow up on that. And again, during the day, if you're available, have it go right to you.
Yeah.
This is to capture things that maybe are keeping you from more sales. So,
Good.
Yeah.
We got Eric, would you like to ask a question or give a
Yeah,
suggestion?
I'd like to ask questions. Can you give me an idea of what your the like pricing strategy is, or like, I saw that there's like a free feasibility call, but so what is like the hourly rate? Or give me an example of like if somebody was looking to, because I own a couple businesses besides working for the SBDC, and for one of them, I need to create an AI automated kind of social media presence,
Oh, nice.
uh,
Yeah.
and keep my costs down, just to not pay somebody to do that marketing for me, but to learn how to do it so that I can automate it. Right. So like how much for a project like that?
Yeah, I think each project is different based on again, where's the source data coming from? Can we talk to it? Stuff like that. So I have two different pricing models up there. If you're somewhat technical or have people on your team that want to use these tools, we do offer hourly. The hourly rate is 125 for consultative work. And you're happy to shop around Fiverr, wherever you want. Just, I know you'll call me back because this stuff is very, you can waste your time with people who probably don't know what they're doing. The other side of this is it's probably better to look at things on a project basis, because you want to like maybe scope things out first. So the free part is actually more of a discovery call. So yeah, what tools are you using and things like that? And like, is this feasible? So some of these questions that you were asking, like, okay, we need to look at that. And then the feasibility would be actually my developer coming in and actually like talking to some of the systems, getting credentials, looking at, can we handle those input outputs? So in her situation, these are the, weird questions I get. Can we do this? And putting an actual scope together that is reasonable. We know we can execute this for you. But that's all custom and it depends. Just to give you a wild idea, these projects usually when you do an implementation, it's north of $5,000. It's depends on how big the system is, but typically you're not going to really get a custom solution for lower than that. But what I like to tell people is kind of think about, again, what's maybe that person costing you over time? What's the value it's bringing? So if you can close more deals by this thing answering calls, then I think you'll quickly realize that that's money well spent. And then also, if it's the social media person, I don't know what you're paying for a platform for that, but if this thing can scale up and give you like 3 times the amount of work for one-off project, that's probably pretty good. So happy to follow up with you, at least just to talk more, and no cost for that, but yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Kent, you got a question or a suggestion for us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, obviously you can tell I've been messing with AI, at least with the Ghibli stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I've developed, I kind of vibe coded a PHP app that became quite elaborate using Gemini. Turned out to be my best tool for that.
Wonderful. Good job.
So I've been looking at YouTube's for agent things like N8, and came up a lot. And of course, you have Make and Zapier.
Yeah.
And I guess there's probably some other ones out there. Anyway, that's a whole other rabbit hole. I would probably have to do this myself, but it's a very interesting business model, the automation. I think a lot of people go for it. I I do have a real estate application. Just it's that ogres list thing that I presented a few months ago, the off-grid real estate, kind of like Angie's List, but for off-grid real estate. And of course, I've got this. I'm using a cell phone today to connect in, so that's why it's acting kind of weird. We have someone visiting, so I can't use that desk out there yet. Anyway, a very good presentation, a very interesting, timely thing, stuff I'm looking into. So I applaud you for that, and I wish you well.
Thank you very much. Yeah, if you have any, sounds like you're pretty skilled already. So there's plenty of there are a lot of tutorials and things you can look at. You may run into some pretty technical challenges, but that's where you can give me a call. But otherwise, yeah, you're on the right track if you're able to. You're already playing with the image tools, and yeah, it's if you're somewhat technical on that scale, use some of the products that maybe do a little more hand holding for you, and you can figure this stuff out. So it's really cool. Thank you, Kent.
I was curious, how many languages can the avatar do?
Oh, I think I'm just on their like basic plan or something. It's $30 unlimited videos, and that one it was like maybe like 80 to 100 languages. It was unreal. Yeah. I was pranking my friends left and right. Yeah, my mother-in-law, she primarily speaks Russian, and so it was like I sent her that clip, and I was like, I've been studying, and she's like, oh, great, and I was like, wait, no, what? Yeah, she bought it. It was great. The voice I have,
Wow.
the beard. There's some artifacts. I don't know if you saw it, but when I would like turn my head, it kind of it blurred a little bit, so it goes over your lips, but. You can just like any social media thing, you can really control it. It's like, okay, just look forward or yeah, lots of different languages there.
I know you said on like the phone call, the AI agent has to disclose that they're AI. What about like the UGC? Like, would they have to disclose like it's an AI doing the UGC?
I think so. I had an attorney look like my contract, like, okay, if it's California based, like you agree that we're going to follow these rules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the two mediums that he talked about were SMS and phone.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if AI disclosure is required by law on that. I don't think it is. I think the platforms like Instagram, Facebook, they're starting to say you need like TikTok. Whoa, they're just saying like you have to tag it. Content. I don't know. I think they're coming. Everyone's figuring this stuff out right now, right? This is the wild part. But now that you've seen these tools, just watch the next ad you see on Instagram or something. Just look a little closer at the lips and see if you can tell. Oh, I know what they're doing. Yeah, I think that might be more of a policy for the platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was curious.
Yeah, no, great question.
Thank you.
So, what businesses do you see best suited for these different applications, and which ones like are you most proficient with that you would help people set up immediately, and like what businesses would you think could benefit most?
Yeah, great question. So I'm like me and my developer, my team, we are proficient in the tools. Okay, so these tools can be used like every business has some sort of lead component or like getting customers, customer service, back end operations. So, clean up, like reactivating old customers, things like this. So all of that, the tools is where our expertise lies. What we're seeing from the business side, the ones that are adopting it a lot, anyone with like high call, like at least on the call side, appointment booking, and that immediate follow-up. And this is where there's interest because there's money in that. There's like, I need to close, if I can close more deals, like, what do you have? Help me with this. And so after hours follow-ups, I've seen a lot with like, service-based businesses, plumbing or like garage door or some of these other, maybe you get calls and the tech is working or something like that. Maybe multi-location places. Again, the price point is a little, not every small business can do it. Hairdresser's not going to do some wild answering service. That's fine. I think the tools that people use, they need to subscribe to, they'll start integrating those on their own. This is really, if you have a bespoke or custom idea, like Kent's thing about, hey, I have this concept I want to do, and there's not like software off the shelf to do it. That's a good area for it too. But I'd say anything, some inbound answering or too much like email or customer support, stuff like that. There's great applications because you can use AI to classify like tonality and sentiment. So is this person pissed off? Maybe you want to route it right away. And in the past, you used to have to like put in these keywords like hate you or this sucks. It's like if this sucks, then alert this person. But now you can do this like, hey, ChatGPT, is this person mad? And if they're mad, like what's a really nice way to follow up? And you basically can connect and have it do all this heavy lifting. So by the time it arrives to you, the decision maker in the business, it's like great. It's like having I already took care of it, boss. Here you go. Done. All right, let me just approve that, and it goes out the door. So yeah, those are I've seen a lot of these kind of solutions. More of like an interaction, answering questions about the company. You can, so that first inbound. And the phone call is a little more fancy stuff, but I'd say there's probably more appointment setting than anything with some of these. Because again, on that first slide I had, there was like an integration to your calendar. It can look at availability. For the gym demo I was doing, it was like I integrated with the class schedule. So it looked up like the next class schedule, say, hey, it's got to be a minimum of an hour out. When's the next class? And booking it that way.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. From the Zoom side, any more questions or suggestions that we have for Ciaran?
If you do my, I don't know if you make the slides public, but you're welcome.
Oh, absolutely.
Put my phone number.
Okay.
Great job again.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ciaran. I'll be sure to get your information out to these our presenters for today.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and do a quick wrap up, and then we'll be good to go. Again, thank you so much, Ciaran. A big thank you from myself as your host and organizer, George Bell, and our chapter lead, Eva Shepard. For anyone who would like to be a 1 Million Cups organizer, please reach out to me. You can email me at Chico at or 1 Million Cups Chico .com. And pretty much I'm just looking for people to help me organize and get different businesses on our platform so we could support our community more. Big shout out to our community sponsors, Chico Start, Grow Tech, SBDC California, Half a Bubble Out, Tri-Counties Bank, Startup Grind, and Global Entrepreneur Network. Without them, we wouldn't be able to put on this program. Please be on the lookout for some of the stuff that we have coming up. We do have our Grow with Google, which is a virtual webinar that you could check out and find at chicostart.com/events. And that'll be May 21st from 11 to 12. And then we have 1 Million Cups. That says 14th. My mistake on there, but we'll have 1 Million Cups scheduled for next week as well. And then be on the lookout and save the date for Grow Tech Fest that is coming November 6th and 7th. And feel free to again check us out at www.chicostart.com, and there you'll be able to find a lot of different things that we offer via our website. We have our Chico Start Weekly, which is our weekly newsletter, as well as Open Grants IO, which is like the Netflix for grants, and a virtual toolkit just to learn entrepreneurship on your own time. Wanted to leave you all with a quick quote. It says, "I'm as proud of many of the things we haven't done as the things we have done. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things," by Steve Jobs. Thank you all so much for being here. Look